Okay, well, um, this is the first episode of my new podcast, Open World Podcast. Um, it's not a working title. It's. I'm pretty sure that's the main title I want to go with. Um, but me and Monif were talking about my friend Monif, a good friend of mine. We were talking about some ideas of taking how we could take this podcast and maybe uh, collaborate, and I do one, he does one, all under one roof. That would be interesting. But I just want to talk about the purpose of this podcast, at least for me, through my eyes. For me, it's I want to have more conversations with many types of people, from different fields of work. This will help me learn and experience. Well, it helped me learn how to have better, conversation skills and whatnot. Because obviously, if you're having conversations a lot, it's gonna help you. So that's one thing that's one of the purpose for myself. Because this podcast is really truly for myself, not in any selfish way or anything. It's just that this is what interests me, so I feel like I should just go after it. It also give me more experience, not just learning, but getting the feel of having a conversation with people. Learning the dynamics of a conversation, and uh, um, the flow of a conversation and whatnot. And hopefully, maybe it helps others as well. The conversations I'm going to be having with people are going to be talking about a variety of topics. So this is a pretty broad podcast, and I'm just hoping maybe some of these topics might help some people out. You never know. But truly, this is made for myself. Trying to talk with more people about many different topics, so this will help me out a lot, and hopefully it helps others as well. I know I'm repeating myself. It's just I'm kind of new to this, so it's okay. I'm outside right now in front of the church next to my house. It's a Lutheran church. Oh, Lutheran, I think that's what it is. Lutheranism, I'm sorry if I'm getting this wrong. My apologies. But my grandma actually goes to this church, so we've been around this neighborhood for a cool minute, so it's pretty well, it's next door, so we live with it basically. But anyways, I also wanted to talk about the vision of the show. At least my vision, and where I see where I want it to go, and where like the results that I want to get out of it. Because I just don't want to do this for no reason. I want to get I want to get feedback, obviously, from any people that might listen to this. Put some potential guests that I have written down already. I've talked to some people, spoken to them about maybe coming on this podcast, and they've seemed to want to do it. So I'm gonna make sure I get that done. Potential guests from different fields of work, different lines of work that they live their own lives. They talk about they live so differently, you know what I mean? Even though every person, I guess, we're all the same as humans, but we all have our own individual lives, our individuality. So that's another thing that I want to explore, is like different people's individuality. I think it's interesting to just learn from people that way, by actually one-on-one communication and interaction. You get to know people a lot better that way, and not to study people, but you do learn some things about how certain people act. You just the human nature basically, which is awesome. I love it. Well, right now this podcast is only going to be audio. It'll be uploaded through YouTube, so it'll be a video. It's just going to be audio, and I'll probably put a picture up there on the video, so it's not too boring. It's just not a black screen or anything. In the future, I would love to eventually get video for this, so I can give some visuals as for the audio that I'm doing. Because nowadays, in the world that we live in nowadays, everything is about the visuals, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people can agree with that, because just look at all the social media out right now. It's basically all visuals, pictures, clips, videos, pictures, the whole nine. So it's almost all about visuals. So that's hopefully the direction we're gonna eventually get to, is having visuals with the audio, and maybe stream live. That's another thing that I would like to do, actually do live, which is a little bit harder, but I feel that after I do these pre-recorded interviews often and more often, it'll help me, with the whole live recording and all that. But well, that's how I would that's how I want to present it to you guys. Some of the concepts that the show might be talking about is wide range topics, from the hustle, having ambition, working hard, all the way to business information. I'd like to talk to a lot of business people, get their perspective on certain things, because for me, I know it's a cliche word to use nowadays, but I'm an artist. I'm not. I didn't grow up as a entrepreneur, so to say. I didn't grow up as a business person in that business mindset state. I grew up, thinking creatively, and the idea that you get in your head when you hear artist, you don't imagine them out in a suit and a tie trying to get shit done. It's just all about the mind and the creative side of everything for the artist. So since I've lived that life so much, I feel it's balance. Balance is key in life. You always need balance in life. The yin and the yang. That's one of the big things that I believe in. Even topics from paranormal. I'd like to speak with people about. I don't know if you could hear that bird in the back. I'm not at the zoo. This is some birds that live across from me. I'm not sure what birds they are, but yeah, for topics from the paranormal, I've spoken with Daniel Roberge. I hope I pronounce your last name right. I've asked him if he wanted to do the podcast. I told him I was new to this, and it was just something that I wanted to get started, and I'd like to talk to a lot of people from different fields that interest me. That's another thing. Most of these guests, at least for right now, are people that interest me, the people that I want to talk to, the people on my Facebook friends list that I don't want to say take for granted. It's just that they're right there, so the opportunity is there. I would love to speak with these people. As I said, the idea of me and my good friend Monif maybe coming up with some ideas on how to take this podcast thing to the next level, keep it going and stuff like that. So we'll have some cool guests on, hopefully some other people that I know, some more friends of mine, speak with them in conversation that we hardly get to indulge in. That'll be great. Spread some motivation maybe somehow to people that I speak with and people that listen. The direction for the future I want for this show is I want I mean, obviously, you would want something to be big. You would want it to grow to be a big success, basically. So, but like I said, this is truly for myself. This is for the benefit of myself, from my learning experience, from my social experiences. I guess I could consider myself a recluse. I stay inside. I don't go outside that much, and I just feel this little adventure of doing this podcast will help me. Just have more experiences in life. Quit staying inside so much. Get that motivation going on this personal interaction with these people that I'll speak with. Hopefully that'll give me the drive and keep me motivated to keep going for what I want. Because I love to see people. I love to see when people are doing what they're supposed to be doing. I love to see people doing something that they're good at and mastering it and being the best that they could be at that. That inspires me. So that's one of the goals that I want for the future, just to gain these experiences, and hopefully we could get on the platform and our format will be much better in the future, and it'll be better access for a lot of people if it chooses to go that route. Mainly what I wanted to speak about today, that was just the introduction, but mainly what I wanted to speak about today was for one, I want to speak about goals. Obviously, it's important to have goals, because if you don't have goals, you probably don't know where you're going, basically. You know where you would like to go, but you're not sure how. A goal shows you how close and how far you are from achieving that goal. When you set a goal, it's like a marker. You know how far you are from that goal, and you know how close you are to that goal because you set the goal. You know when you're there. You know how it feels. You know how it tastes. You know how achieving that goal is going to feel, and you know how to get there, basically. So the marker of a goal is to be set so you know where you're going and how far you have to go to get there. And one of the things is focusing on those goals. You got to focus on those goals. Like I said, this podcast is really for myself. So when I speak like this, it's not necessarily I'm speaking to motivate anybody. Truly, I'm speaking to motivate myself. I'm speaking to motivate myself. I feel this will help me out a lot if the idea of speaking it into existence. If I speak about it a lot, it'll just hopefully it gets embedded in me. So I continue to have that drive and go for what I want in life and whatnot. So focusing on your goals is truly important, because if you don't focus on your goals, then you're gonna be all over the place. You're not gonna be organized or whatnot. Obviously, achieving your goals is even bigger, because if you're focusing on your goals, you're driving for your goals. Obviously, you want to achieve that goal. That's the goal of the goal, is to achieve the goal. I don't know if that makes sense. It makes sense at this moment, but everybody wants to achieve their goals. So you have to focus on your goals, and you have to have the want and the drive. What do you want? And how does that drive? What drives you to get what you want? That's the idea. If you want this in the future, if you set this goal for yourself, what is the drive that keeps you going to get to that goal? So that's the idea of goals. Having goals is very important when being on the hustle. Having that ambition, knowing where you want to go, doing what you love. You have to have goals for these things, and that's just what I wanted to talk about goals. I mean, it's important. I mean, I'm speaking to myself mainly. I hardly actually set goals for myself. Like I don't actually sit there and be like, okay, these are my goals, and then write them down. That's what I need to start doing. That's one of the main keys to switching the gears. reinventing myself. Not to the point where I'm not myself, but just reinventing myself into the person in the format that I call it reaching my God form. I know some people might know that from, I think it's in Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z. I think the concept is around in certain philosophies or certain religions is the God form, the God self. Some people believe it as negative, some people believe it as positive. I truly believe it as positive. Everybody wants to reach their God self. Everybody wants to become their God form. So that's just what I wanted to talk about. Also, what I wanted to talk about was time. The idea of time. To me, time is the enemy. Let me say that again. Time is the enemy. Time is all of our enemies. Let me explain. Time is the enemy. We hear people that speak about the hustle, being on the grind and stuff. We hear people that speak about that. They always say when you're on your grind, when you're on the hustle, when you're working, there's never truly enough time in the day to get things done. And it's true, actually. There's only 24 hours in the day, like we have to, in order to be in that mindset, we have to think like time, we have to think in the mindset that time is the enemy. Time is our enemy. It's the race against time, basically. It's time against humans. Humans and time don't go together. When humans and time goes together is when people die, when people are born. That's the only time. No pun intended, but that's the only time and humans are connected. Truly, they're throughout the rest of the middle of our lives, from when we're born till we die, we're on the race against time. And that's how we need to look at it. We need to grind like there's never enough time to get things done. Because there truly isn't. If you're in the right mindset of getting things done, being on your hustle, getting what you want, achieving your goals, you have to understand that time is working against you. Okay? Time is working against you. So you need to make time your enemy. You should hate wasting time, basically. When I say you, I mean we, or when I say we, I'm really talking to myself right now. I need to stop. I need to make time my enemy. Sorry. I need to make time my enemy. I should hate wasting time. Okay? If you're truly on your grind, and if you're truly about what you say, about what you want, we need to hate wasting time. We need to hate having to sleep to get to be rested and ready for the next day. I know sleep is very important. It's very important for your body, for your health, and to get you going during the day and whatnot. But truly, we should hate having to sleep. I mean, I love sleep. I love having dreams and all that, but the idea of going after what you want and not having enough time being your enemy, we should hate having to sleep to rest, to get that rest. Because it's a waste of time. If we didn't have to sleep and then we were just energized all the time, 24/7, that would be a tremendous help to people that are on the grind and the work, But we have to sleep, that we get tired. Our bodies sometimes can't take it if we're staying up too much. And you can feel the difference in the way you feel during the day when you stay up too late, when you don't go to sleep on time, or you don't go to sleep at all. Sorry about that. There's a car passing by, and this is actually longer than so far than what I thought it was going to be. I'm just rambling on. I hope it's not going to be too long, but I just wanted to speak about this. Time is everyone's enemy. Time is your enemy. Time is my enemy. Time is everybody on the street. Everybody in these houses right here, on my block. Time is their enemy. And what I mean by time is our enemy is that we're going to die. We're all gonna die. And some people don't like to think about it. Some people believe that it's something you should think about. You should know that you should be aware and conscious about that you're gonna die, because it gives you that motivation to get things done during the time that you are here. Because people may act like they truly know what happens after death, but honestly, we don't have a clue. We don't really have any clue. So if we don't have a clue on what happens happens after death, then we need to get shit done right now. That's the objective, is to get things done while we're alive, before we die. Because at this moment, that's what we're going to be remembered by. We're not going to be remembered on where we go or what happens after we die. We're going to be remembered on this planet by the things we do on this planet. So, we only have a limited time on Earth to do what we want to do. So, I suggest we take advantage of that time and use every single minute, every single hour of the day to get things done. Because if you don't, it's wasting time, and that means time is winning, because time is the enemy. To get into this sort of it takes a mindset to get on this drive to go after your goals in this sort of way, in this sort of mindset. It's a mindset that you need. It takes hard work mentally to get in the right mindset, though. Okay, it's a mindset. But even though it's going to be hard work mentally, what is going to keep you on your drive is your ambition, is your passion. Everybody needs that. If you don't have ambition or passion, you're not going to keep going after what you want. You're not going to keep going when times feel like they're getting rough, because you have no passion or ambition to keep you going. So ambition is really important. It's what will keep you driving. It's what will keep you driving forward. And it's what you should focus on. When things get bad, when you feel things are getting bad or not so good, don't focus on the negative. Focus on your goals. Focus on your ambition, your passion, because that's what's going to keep you going. Also, we need to go to war with our will. A lot of us, we don't take risks in life. In order to know who you are, you need to take risks. You need to know how far you're going to go and then how far you're not going to go. So we need to go to war with our will. Because if we don't, we'll never know our true potential. Okay? And we need to keep in the zone. We need to stay in the zone. I know I believe this is the hard part. Keeping in the zone. How do you keep in the zone? I'm not really sure. But for me, this might be kind of taboo, I guess. I don't know if I'm using the word right, but emotional intelligence, I believe that is going to help. Having emotional intelligence. And having emotional intelligence is connected to being self-aware. You need to be self-aware and have emotional intelligence. Because if you don't, it's not gonna work. You're gonna get caught up in the little moments. Oh, what's up, man? You're gonna get caught up in the little moments, and you're not gonna stay in the zone because your emotions are getting the best of you. It's hard. If you weren't born with it, or if you didn't grow up with it, then it's really difficult to get in that sort of mindset. It's a mindset, basically. Also, I want to talk about plans without execution. A plan without execution is just a waste of time and ideas. What's up, Omar?
Catching the bus.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You waiting for the bus right now?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Sure, I'm just doing my podcast. I'm starting a podcast. I'm doing episode 1 right now, actually, as we speak.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was supposed to be meeting up with Monique like later on. Uh, gonna do a podcast, episode 2. So I'm doing 2 episodes in one day. I'm a little late on this podcast. I was supposed to do this yesterday, but just like I said, I'm working at it. But a plan without execution is a waste of time and ideas. It truly is a waste of time and ideas. It's a waste of mind too, because if you're not going after your ideas, your goals, if you're not using that time, it's just it's a waste, really. It doesn't really work. You're not gonna go anywhere. You're gonna have these plans, you're gonna have these ideas, but you're not gonna ever reach them because you're not going after it. You're not executing. So what I need to tell myself in the morning in the mirror, what we need to tell ourselves in the mirror every morning is, I need to execute. I need to look myself in the mirror and say, I need to execute. Because tell yourself that if you don't execute, you're never going to be where you want to be. You're never going to achieve what you want to achieve. And that's what's important. That's the main goal. That's the mission in life, as far as people that think this way is, and that aren't on their grind, is we want to achieve our goals. So without execution on our plans and our goals, we're just going to have goals sitting there waiting for us to show up, but we're never going to show up because we never executed. We never went that extra mile. We didn't focus on our ambition to keep going. We didn't focus on our passion, the thing that is motivating us to keep going for what we want. So I think sticking to the mission is also a big key to this. Because if you're sticking to the mission, this is helping you execute. You need to stay on the mission. You need to keep in the zone, focus on your passion and your ambition, and it'll help you stick to the mission. And with all this, when you do, you prove. Okay? When you do something, you prove it. Okay, you prove that you did something. Instead of just saying that you're gonna do something, that's not gonna work. You're not gonna prove yourself right. You want to prove yourself right when you say you want to do something and how you want to do it. You want to get into the mindset of you want to get into the mindset of proving and doing, not just thinking and not acting. You need to act on your ideas, and this will take you a long way. Sort of like this podcast, you know, I'm trying to prove by doing, because I remember talking about doing a podcast with Omar here. Remember we used to talk about maybe doing podcasts back in the day and stuff, you know, like years back and stuff. So it's been a long time coming. I think it's about that time. It's gonna be fun. I want you on the podcast one of these episodes too. I have one planned out for us too, you know. That'll be pretty interesting. But like I said before, there's people in the back. I don't know if you hear the music. I think it's like dancing class or something in the church right here. But yeah, like I said before, this is truly so that I could get motivated, so that I could get that motivation by having that one-on-one social interaction with people from different fields of works, you know, just to learn the conversation, learn and gain more conversation skills, experience, you know, the more conversational flow and the I would say techniques, or just, you know, just the overall conversational process that'll help a lot in life, and hopefully the topics that we address and, you know, talk about or whatever, hopefully it might help anyone out in the world, you know, that might hear this or anything, you know. That's not the main goal, but hopefully it'll pop up. I mean, obviously we want our content to relate to people. So that, I mean, I guess that's one of the goals, to hopefully have this relate to anybody, you know, because when you have it relate, then people love what you do and stuff like that. So, well, this is the end of this episode 1. I just dropped my ball. This is end of episode 1. I'm gonna be recording episode 2 hopefully later on today. Like I said, I'm a little late on this one, so this one's going up first since it's episode 1 though. This episode 2 is going to be with Monif, my good friend Monif. Episode 3, I believe. Oh, I'm not sure on episode 3 yet. I'm still working on that. I have a few guests. Daniel Roberge, he's the creator of EchoVox. A woman named Salo Stanley. She's I would say she's a spiritualist, I guess. She dabbles in a little paranormal things also. I'll be talking to Monif about we went on a trip to LA, the experience we had. We'll talk about that, and he's actually starting an art gallery, so we'll talk to him about that. But yeah, just stay tuned if you like the podcast. I'll keep at it and see where this podcast takes us in life. So yeah, peace.